Long before cities covered the earth, humans lived in a very different world. There were no roads, schools, supermarkets, or comfortable homes. There wasn't even a clear line between a safe place and a dangerous one. Every morning began with the same question: how do we survive today? Food had to be found, water had to be located, and danger had to be avoided. And unlike us, they couldn't simply buy what they needed. If they wanted food, they had to search for it. If they wanted shelter, they had to build it. If they wanted warmth, they had to master fire. Their entire world was built around survival. But survival wasn't their only job. They were learning, experimenting, playing, and figuring out what it meant to be human. For most early humans, finding food was practically a full-time occupation. Some searched for fruits, nuts, roots, and edible plants. They had to know which plants could be eaten and which could kill them. That knowledge was not written in a book. It was passed from one person to another. The same was true for hunting. A successful hunt could feed a group for days. A failed hunt could mean going hungry. So humans became extremely good at observing animals. They watched where animals traveled, rested, and drank. They learned when to move and when to stay hidden. Slowly, survival became a collection of lessons. After food came another problem: where could they safely sleep? Early humans didn't have houses waiting for them. They used caves, trees, rocks, branches, and whatever nature provided. A good shelter could mean the difference between comfort and disaster. It had to keep out rain, cold, insects, and predators. And moving camp was sometimes necessary. When the food disappeared, they followed the food. Their homes were temporary, but their knowledge traveled with them. Every new place taught them something. A river meant water. A forest meant food and materials. A dangerous landscape meant they needed to be careful. Then there was fire. To us, fire is ordinary. To early humans, it was revolutionary. Fire provided warmth when nights became freezing. It gave light after sunset. It could scare away some predators. And eventually, humans learned to cook. Cooking made food easier to eat and changed how humans gathered around meals. The fire became more than a tool. It became the center of camp life. And around that fire, something even more important happened. Humans began sharing more than food. Imagine trying to warn someone without using a single word. That was normal for humans before complex language existed. A hand could point toward danger. A scream could mean run. A gesture could mean come here. A look could tell someone to stay quiet. Humans became experts at reading each other. They had to be. A misunderstanding could mean losing food or walking straight into danger. So communication became part of survival. And slowly, those gestures would help lead humans towards something extraordinary: language. Perhaps the biggest secret to human survival was simple: humans worked together. One person could only do so much alone. A group could hunt, build, protect, and teach. Adults cared for children. Older people could pass down valuable knowledge. And everyone had something useful to contribute. Someone might be better at tracking animals. Someone else might know the safest plants. Another might be good at making tools. Knowledge became something a group could share. And shared knowledge made the next generation stronger. This was one of humanity's greatest advantages. But here's the part we often forget. Early humans weren't spending every waking moment fighting for survival. They had moments of rest. They played games. They made art. They decorated themselves. They told stories. They probably laughed too. They formed friendships. They probably argued too. In other words, they were still human. Their world was primitive, but their emotions were surprisingly familiar. So what did humans actually do before civilization? They searched for food. They hunted. They built shelters. They learned to control fire. They protected their families. They communicated without the language we know today. They taught one another. They played, created, loved, and wondered. And little by little, those simple lives became more complicated. Groups became larger, tools became better, and settlements slowly appeared. And eventually, humanity crossed the line into civilization. But civilization didn't create humans. Humans created civilization. And it all began with humans simply trying to survive another day.